everybody loves somebody sometimes. I feel beautiful. Only thing is, I had to see my doctor this morning about my throat. It was all red. Luckily, it turned out to be just an impacted pimento. He also checked my eyes, and he said my eyes were 40-40. That means I've got perfect double vision. Yeah, I've been trying to take care of myself, but my back's been bothering me. I sprained it real bad last night. I hung my pants in the closet and forgot to take them off. I tell you, I was in bad shape. This morning, I even had trouble shaving. I cut the mirror 3 times. Oh, before I forget, I got to make a very important announcement. I'm going to have to ask all you people in the theater not to leave chewing gum all over the seats. It creates a problem. Half the people in tonight's audience are still stuck here from last week. Now, don't you go away, because there's a nice man to tell you who my guests are tonight.
The Dean Martin Show, starring Barbara Feldon, Van Johnson, Paul Lynde, Irene Ryan, and Les Brown and his band of renown.
Like you look down on the common folk like me, making bets to what degree of fool we are. Through your rose-colored windows, you see yourself above us, standing in the mud, gazing at the stars. But the rich and poor have in common the common cold, the heartburn and the heartache put our pants on just the same. Your word don't make you better, babe, 'cause I can tread water, babe, as long as you think you can make it rain. Why you get your raisin, girl, in your diamond-studded world? I got pulled up on the hungry side of town. I cut my teeth on bacon rind. Ain't no hide as tough as mine, but it might be fun a while to be your clown. So get your whip and do your thing, and I'll run around the ring, ride my white horse, wear my armor too. But I don't easy blister, babe. I'll be your court jester, babe. But don't think you won't pay the fiddler too. When you put your hand in mine, was a shocking time to find the water hot, the current strong, deep and wet. You had me struggling for a time, dangling on your line, but never fear, this fish would never sweat. While you're playing with my mind, I'll be playing with your money, honey, as long as your account can stand the drain. I'll fan the flame and make it hotter, 'cause I think I can walk on water, as long as you think you can make it rain. I'll hang around a while, study your style. I'll come out a whole lot wiser man and leave. 'Cause the last time anyone as grand as you appeared, they looked around, found a random star up in the east. Hey, but I don't see no halo, just a little girl with a lot of gold, one more trinket for her golden chain. Well, you got a hot one hanging, kid. Don't let her say you never did your best. Be my guest, make it rain. Make it rain. Make it rain. Make it his boys are so sexy, the other day they caught a peeping Tom looking down his throat. Hey, you are a great audience, and after the show, we're all going over to the May Company basement and tie knots in all the pantyhose. We got a wonderful show tonight. Van Johnson's here, Paul Lynde, Barbara Feldon, and from the Beverly Hillbillies, we got Irene Ryan. She's a great gal. Every week, she sends me a dozen eggs, and to make sure they don't break, she sends them scrambled. Oh, yes. It's always nice to have Van Johnson on the show. I guess you all know him as the guy who always gets the girl in the movie, except once when the girl screamed and the usher threw him out. Oh, yes. Anyway, here. I'll be all right. The stuff is working now. A little sauce never hurt nobody. Listen. Anyway, here's a beautiful guy, and I mean, he's a wonderful guy, a great performer, and a real dear friend of mine, Mr. Van Johnson.
Free and easy, that's my style. Howdy do me, watch me smile. Fare thee well me after a while, 'cause I gotta roam. And any place I hang my hat is home. Sweetening water, cherry wine, thank you kindly, suits me fine. Kansas City, Caroline, that's my honeycomb. 'Cause any place I hang my hat is home. Birds roosting in a tree, pick up and go, and the going cruise. That's how it ought to be. I pick up too when the spirit moves me. Across the river, round the bend, howdy stranger, so long friend. There's a voice in the lonesome wind that keeps whispering wrong. I'm going where the welcome mat is, no matter where that is, 'cause any place I hang my hat is home. Going where the welcome mat is, no matter where that is, 'cause any place I hang my hat is home.
I look forward to seeing you on the show because we always sit around and we chatter.
Yeah, what do you want to chat about, Dean?
I don't know. What do you want to chatter about?
Well, why don't we stop wasting time? You know we're going to talk about girls, so let's get on with it.
Yeah, we got some new singers on the show this year, and there's one. Well, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't mind going 32 bars with her.
You know, that's interesting, Dean. I mean, the way a person talks about girls usually depends on what he does for a living.
What do you mean?
Well, you're a singer.
What do you mean?
You're a singer, so you said you'd like to go 32 bars with her.
Yeah.
Now, being an actor myself, I'd probably say something like, I'd sure like to check her motivation.
Well, does that mean a bread man would say, I'd like to have her cupcakes in my truck?
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean.
Or if you were a meter reader, you'd say, I'd like to measure her kilowatts.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you were a gardener, you'd say...
How do you like to rake her leaves?
Or a tugboat captain?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind giving her a little toot. What's wrong with that? Hey, Van, what about a weatherman?
I'd love to get caught in a shower with her. Here's one, Dean, a bricklayer.
I pass.
We ought to set this to music.
You got it, pal. Standing on the corner, watching all the girls go by. Man, look at the girders on that. Standing on the corner, watching all the girls go by.
How'd you like to bale her hay?
Look what
But it's handing on with us their occupation. Woo! Matter of fact, well, neither do I. They're standing on the corner, watching all the girls, watching all the girls, watching all the girls go by.
I'd love to pull rank on her.
Standing on the corner, watching all the girls go by.
Hey, Zeke, reckon I'd like to trap her bear.
Standing on the corner, giving all the girls the eye.
Hey, I'd like to spoil her broth.
Brother, you've got a rich imagination. Give it a whirl and give it a try. Try standing on the corner, watching all the girls, watching all the girls.
How'd you like her to keep your wig warm?
Watching all the girls go by.
Hey there, we got a real treat for you now. One of television's all-time favorite characters, the one and only Granny Clampett. Here she is, the wonderful star of the Beverly Hillbillies, Miss Irene Ryan. You're putting me on. You're Irene Ryan. You're Granny, huh?
I'm afraid I'm Irene.
But you don't look like no Beverly Hillbilly. You look more like some society New York queen or something. You know that?
Well, you know how it is, Dean. I'm an actress. Granny Clampett is just a character that I've created.
You're so completely different. Like oil and water, Jekyll and Hyde, Simon and Garfunkel.
Not really, Dean. People are people.
Yeah?
Oh, certainly. Hillbillies are no different than anybody else. Oh, they might talk a little bit different.
Yeah?
And they might walk a little bit different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Put her clothes on a little bit different, too.
But down deep, we're all the same.
Okay. I hear singing and there's no one there. I smell blossoms and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Don't hit my shoulder. You need someone who's older. I rub down with a rag glove. There is nothing you can take to relieve that stubborn ache. You're not sick. You're just in love.
Oh, I didn't know.
Come on, Dean.
Lay your head on my shoulder, give me some love, so I can rub down with a racking love. There is nothing you can take to relieve that stubborn ache. You're not sick, you're just in
It's a funny little game, we love it a lot. As long as you don't try to put us on the spot. How come you do me like you do?
Doing what comes naturally. Yes.
This is my first affair.
They'll never believe you. Only kidding.
Oh, do what you done before, baby.
Darling, I am growing old.
You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, then you shake it all about.
It's almost like being in love. Oh, all over my bones.
I just had
have my whole body tattooed all over with a map of the United States.
San Francisco, I'm going home again. Now listen, okay, girls. Now let's pull ourselves together. Time to sing on the next guest.
Who always makes us laugh? Who always makes us grin? No one else but our favorite funny man, Paul Lynde.
Hold it. Excuse me, girls. Mr. Martin, I've come to capture you.
Capture me?
Yes, I'm Farley Wainwright, interior decorator. Come with me.
You ain't gonna capture me, buddy.
You don't understand. The network hired me to capture your personality in this room. When I'm through redecorating, millions of viewers will sit by their TV sets and instantly feel your essence.
Feel my essence?
Mr. Martin, this room is a hodgepodge of ticky-tacky. My ideas are revolutionary. I once did a city hall entirely in peanut butter. It was magnificent, but the pigeon stuck to the roof of the building.
Well, you seem pretty qualified. What do you think you'll, how do you improve this room, huh?
A hand grenade would do it. Just look at those walls. The texture is unbearable. Mr. Martin, what you need is something in the woods.
Now you're talking.
Personally, I recommend rosewood.
What?
Rosewood.
Well, if rosewood, I would.
Now, in place of this couch, I see a bed. The bed was invented in Egypt, you know.
No wonder they had so many mummies.
You know, it's fascinating that the first bed was carved completely out of wood.
I bet that wasn't easy.
The hardest part was carving all those feathers for the mattress. And that awful bookcase has to go. You need an occasional here.
I'll buy that.
Now, over in that corner, we need the classical touch. Perhaps something old and Greek.
How about a picture of Aristotle on us? Aristotle on us?
I said old, not prehistoric. What I had in mind was a Grecian urn.
What's a Grecian urn?
Whatever she can get. Just a little joke, breaks them up down at the showroom.
Oh, it does, huh?
Actually, a Grecian urn is a large vase.
Don't you mean vase?
To a decorator, it's a vase.
How soon can I get it?
Oh, in 1 or 2 days. And here's something for your shelf. A statue of Buddha carved from the ivory of the great Indian elephant. It required the work of 500 men.
500 men to make that?
1 to carve it and 499 to hold the elephant still. And over here I can just see you sitting on your poof.
Sitting on my what?
Your poof. A poof is a large overstuffed seat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you big kidder. You know, Mr. Martin, you're decorating. You must let your imagination run the gamut. I once did a powder room in early African. In the trade, it was known as the shrunken head. Actually, for someone as flamboyant as you, what this room needs is a burst of color. I've surveyed the spectrum and plucked just the color for you.
I can't wait to see what you pluck.
Pink, Mr. Martin. I see you surrounded by pink.
Pink?
That's right. Banish the black, burn the blue, and bury the beige. From now on, Mr. Martin, think pink. Think pink when you decorate your room. Think pink, and get rid of all this gloom. Red is dead, blue is through, green's obscene, brown's taboo. there's not the slightest excuse for plum or puce or chartreuse. Think pink on the long, long road ahead. Think pink, and the world is rosy red. Everything on the great horizon, everything that you can think, and that includes the kitchen sink.
That's the kitchen sink. I wouldn't mind having dishpan hands.
To be honest, Mr. Martin, isn't this a lot more bright and cheery?
Sure is. I'm already feeling in the pink.
What you doing, son?
Just rocking, Ma. At my age is exciting.
What time is it?
It's October.
How old are you now, boy?
I'm close to 75.
How close?
86.
Son?
No, that's the moon. Huh? Yeah, that's you, Ma. Call me son.
I gotta talk to you, son, about this here generation gap. Between them ages of 75 and 100, something terrible happens.
What happens?
Nothing.
Nothing.
25 years of nothing. It's that time of life when your get up and go got up and went. But you kids today, you know where it's at.
I know where it's at, but I'm too pooped to go get it. But look at you, Ma. You're 100 years old, but you're in perfect condition. Strong, hot-blooded, impulsive. How do you do it?
Do what?
I forget.
Well, let's go in and watch TV. That sexy new movie from Sweden is on. It's about two people who fall madly and passionately in love when they're both over 90.
What's it called?
I'm curious, wrinkled.
This I gotta see. Well, you all know my pal Ken Lane here. Oh, poor Ken. Every time he shaves, he cuts himself. His legs are a mess. Put your arms around me, honey. Hold me tight. Baby, don't let go. I'm higher than a kite. Scooby-Doo. Raza, give me some men who are stout-hearted men, and I'll trade them all in for a broad. Well, I'm gonna go to the couch, but before I go, remember the famous words of Arnold Palmer, who once said, "You show me a man that leaves a warm bed at 7 in the morning to play golf in the rain, and I'll show you a guy with an ugly wife."
I came by to see if you'd like to ring my chimes. That's my
confessing that I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you. Honest, I do. Need you every moment. In your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny they're true. Will your answer really change things, making me blue? I'm afraid someday you leave me, saying can't we still be friends? If you go, you know you grieve me. All in life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I love you over again. I'm confessing that I love you over again.
Right now, I'd like to introduce a super spy and a super talent. You all know her as Don Adams' wife on Get Smart. And here she is appearing with Van Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, the very lovely Barbara Feldon.
We've been a team and modeling now for almost 15 years. We've stuck it out together through laughter and through tears.
We always thought that someday we'd be wallowing in fame.
Though nothing much has happened, we're glad that we
Johnson,
came.
on stage.
We're happy as partners. We make a perfect duet. The way that we get along, because we're partners, inseparable partners. We never fight, 'cause I'm always right.
And I'm never wrong.
You see, we know each other so well, and it must be easy to tell that we think each other is perfectly swell. That's why we're partners, and we're gonna stay partners till the end of time or so. Well, at least till the end of the show.
You see, we love each other so much.
And we thrill whenever we touch.
Though we know someday we'll be
sharing our crotch.
Okay, ponies, on stage, kids. Come on, come on.
trouble seeing through this costume.
Well, I'll tell you something. The view I get isn't so hot.
Now, you call yourself a dancer. The only reason you know you've got a left foot is that you've got two of them.
Oh, come on.
Oh, why we do?
And we're gonna stay partners through endless years,
Doubt and fear.
through thick and thin,
Rye and gin through the atomic age.
well, at least till we get
Off stage.
Comedian you're going to be hearing a lot about. You saw him with my gold diggers this last summer. And he's a real funny guy. Ladies and gentlemen, very talented, Mr. Jackie Gale.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And it's I'll tell you something, folks. Being in show business, you live a hectic life. You're always grabbing a plane and rushing from one place to another, and you never get to see anything. So I finally decided to do something about it. Get in a car and drive cross country. And it's boring. It is boring. By the second day, you're looking at the billboards, you're looking at the roadside stands, and you gotta be leery of those roadside stands. You ever see those signs? All the orange juice you could drink for 25 cents? I pulled over. The man gave me an empty glass and pointed me toward an orange grove. And you see those signs, Bill's Diner. 10 miles, 8 miles, great food, fine atmosphere, air conditioning. 5 miles to Bill's Diner. By this time, you're starving. Then you get to an empty lot and you see a sign. This is the site of the new Bill's Diner. But you're crazy. When you drive through those towns, they all look the same. You could tell the people that live there don't have any respect for the town. When you go to the park and you see the statue on the horse is the local plumber. That's true. They have no respect. You don't see any millionaires in those kind of towns either. Because the minute anybody puts $100 together, they leave. And I'll tell you something, when you drive alone, it's dangerous because you start to think too much. And that's what I did. I was driving along reviewing the highlights of my career, and I almost fell asleep. And you gotta find things to amuse yourself, so I found something to do. When you get to a toll bridge, try this if you want to. Give the guy a quarter and say, here's a quarter for the car in back of me. And watch the guy going nuts trying to figure out why you paid. Here's what you see through a rearview mirror. He paid it, who paid it? Yeah. Next you watch the guy in his wave, they're waving at you for 8 miles, you're driving bananas for 25 cents. And I notice wherever you drive today, the whole country's being built up. Las Vegas, Nevada, they keep putting up hotels every 2 minutes. You think the big show business personalities are making all the money. It's not true. It's the bricklayers. Did you ever get those restaurants down south? You go into one of those waitresses, they're really something. I went to this lady and says, can I have a menu? We don't have a menu. Very friendly. I said, what do you got? We got corn bone grits, peas and greens, red-eyed beans and greens and beans. I thought it was Phil Harris in a dress. So I don't want to take any chance. I said, give me some eggs, toast, and coffee. She says, you want grits? I said, what? Grits. I said, I don't want grits. Eat the grits. You eat the grits. If you eat grits, it's matzo balls dipped in cement. It looks like farina that didn't make it. And wherever else you go in this country, all they're doing is opening up chicken house. Everywhere you go, chicken, chicken, chicken. Did you ever eat some of that chicken? They buy the ones that suffocate on the truck. I tell you, talking about all this would give me a terrible heartburn. I'll see you later. I'll tell you, I gotta go.
In the world as being a hotel chambermaid, going around every morning picking up things people leave laying around on the floor, cigarette butts, clothes, bottles, me. Ever wonder what goes through their minds? Here's Miss Irene Ryan once again to give you an idea.
You can go over to 1206. I'll finish up here myself.
Okay, Gladys.
I want to do an extra special good job because this is Mr. Dean Martin's suite. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Oh, look. A cigarette butt. And to think that this once touched Dean Martin's lips. I'll keep it for my collection. Oh, look. publicity photographs. What a handsome man. Reminds me of my first husband, Harold. He liked to bring a little sunshine into people's lives, too. He was a window washer. Oh, he was some man, my Harold. I used to love watching him leave the house every morning, his pail in one hand and his squeegee in the other. Even the other window cleaners used to say nobody handles a squeegee like Harold. Ooh. Oh, look. What consideration. Look how nice and neat he left all his empties in the wastebasket. That's what I call class. Just like my Harold. He'd never sit down to eat without his shirt was on, or come out of the bathroom dripping like a dying swan, or call a visitor a slob until the slob was gone. He had refinement. In the water at Coney Island was our first embrace, when my water wings flew off and hit him in the face. He introduced himself before he put them back in place. He had refinement. One time he said, may I suggest you call a lady's chest a chest instead of her points of interest? Dainty. Ain't he? He had respect and feeling all our married life. Just the thought that maybe he'd hurt me cut him like a knife. So he never mentioned that he had another wife. He had refinement. Oh, Mr. Martin. Oh, Mr. Martin.
Don't let me disturb you. I just forgot my glasses. And my bottle, too.
See what I mean? A gentleman to his fingertips was he.
Hello, Dean. Hey, I wonder if you'd do me a favor.
Well, sure, anything.
I wonder if I could use your head for a minute.
I don't know. I'm not through with it yet.
No, you don't understand. You see, I'm studying phrenology.
Phrenology? Mm-hmm. Phrenology?
Yeah. That's the science of assessing a person's character by the structure of his skull.
Oh, how do it work?
Well, I'd be very happy to show you. Do you mind if I feel your bumps?
You sure you're reading your lines right there?
No, I'm afraid it's all very scientific. You see, supposedly you can tell all about a person by the bumps on his skull. Like some people have more well-developed bumps than others. You know, some people have very large bumps, some people have very small bumps.
Well, that's Hollywood for you, you know.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. You know, lately I've had the opportunity of feeling some very famous people's bumps.
Gee, and you look like such a nice girl, you know?
For example, I'll bet you didn't know that Sophia Loren has very tiny bumps.
You're putting me on. She must wear padded hats.
Would you like to hear some more?
Only if what you have to say has a redeeming social content. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Why don't you just relax and just let me run my fingers through your bumps?
Okay, but promise you'll respect me afterwards.
Now, let's see. This bump indicates your level of intelligence, right? And then this bump here indicates your sensitivity. And then this little bump right here, that indicates your creativity. And, my goodness, I wonder what this bump indicates.
That indicates a low ceiling in the men's room. That's what that
Do you know very surprising. I would never have guessed this.
What's that?
Well, according to your bumps, you're very quiet and contemplative and sober, and you have absolutely no interest in the opposite sex. Now, how do you explain that?
Simple. The NBC censors won't let me wear my real head on television. That's all. Hey, Barbara felt... Ladies, Barbara, while Barbara's making her change, let me tell you about her next number. You know, a lot of people complain about the way kids talk today. They say you can't understand half the things they say. They forget that when they were kids, it was just the same. Here's a song from the 40s that's going to bring back a lot of memories to a lot of people. And here's Barbara.
Finally found a fellow almost completely divine, but his vocabulary is killing this romance of mine. Oh, what's a poor little girl to do? How can he be so old-fashioned? Doesn't he know it's 1942? He says murder, he says. Every time we kiss, he says murder, he says. At a time like this, he says murder, he says. Is that the language of love? It's solid, he says. Takes me in his arms and says solid, he says. Meaning all my charms, he says solid, he says. Is that the language of love? He says, chick, chick, you torture me. Suit, are we living? I'm thinking of leaving him flat. He says, dig, dig, the jumps the old ticker is given. Now he can talk plainer than that. He says murder, he says. Every time we kiss, he says murder, he says. Keep it up like this and that, murder, he says. In that impossible tone, we'll bring on nobody's murder but his own. Hubba, hubba. Do-wah, do-wah, sky do-wah, do-wah, dow. Hep, hep with helium, now babe, we're cooking, and other expressions to wit. He says we're in the groove, and the groove is good looking. He sounds like his uppers don't fit. He says murder, he says. Every time we kiss, he says murder, he says. Keep it up like this and that, murder, he says. In that impossible tone, we'll bring on nobody's murder but his own.
Solid Jackson, mop up. Hey, Barbarita, hubba hubba. Give me some skin on the Jersey side. Think my zoot suit with a reek plate and beat me daddy 8 to the bar.
Would you mind translating that?
Sure. I'm just telling you to get down to the nitty gritty. Telling it like it is. Doing my thing, letting it all hang out where the action is. You dig?
I did. Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Learn the language of love.
And Vivian Blaine, Dorothy Lamour, and Fanny Bartholomew, some of the stars we stay up to see on the Late, Late Show. Gregory Peck and Jennifer Jones, Zachary Scott and Edna Mae Oliver G. But we love the movies we see on the Late, Late Show.
Stick 'em up.
Young man, do you realize who I am? I am Giovanni Ferrucci, the great tenor of the Mozart Metropolitan Opera.
I don't care who you are, buddy. Just give me your watch and your wallet. Now listen, I'm gonna get out of here and don't make a sound till I got a sight or I'll shoot you.
Help,
Hello, America. Are you having trouble sleeping? Whenever I have a sleepless night like this, it doesn't bother me anymore. Because the answer is right on my night table. Why toss and turn? When I can't sleep, all I do is get rid of my clock. Back to our movie.
All right, lads. Now, in this next scene, I want you to open the door, burst into the bedroom, rush up to Raquel Welch, grab her in your arms, kiss her savagely, and then make passionate love to her. You think you can handle it, Lance?
Stunt man.
Well, hi there, ladies. Do you have trouble removing those stubborn stains from your clothes on wash day? Now, there's a product guaranteed to remove stains in no time at all. New, fascinating Sizz. But don't just take my word for it. Let's put it to the test. Now, here's a shirt with ground stain. We'll try to get the stain out with brand X. See? That nasty old stain is still there. Now, let's try the new fast-acting Sizz, huh? Watch this. Watch it now. That's right there. Look at that. Look at that. It won't even cut. There it is. Gone. Gone. Look at that. Now back to our movie.
Wait! I don't think we should elope, Harold. Let's have a church wedding.
Huh? If you want your girl to go a little farther, just add a little blackberry to her drink. Now, word from our sponsor.
What's the matter, Fred?
Oh, my socks keep falling down.
Why don't you buy a pair of these new stretchies? No matter what I do, they never fall down. Watch this.
Hey, that's great. What keeps them from falling down?
Thumbtacks.
And now, back to our movie.
But, Pete, how can you even think of splitting up the act?
Well, what can I do, George? Mr. Ziegfeld only wants me. It's my big chance.
Oh, we're such a great team, you and me. We belong together.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't split up the act.
Great. Now, come on, Pete. There's our cue. Let's go on.
Okay, George.
With all the stars, but not so long ago. On the late show.
Now, I sure want to thank all my wonderful guests for joining us. There's no R in joining. Join it. And I hope you'll all be back with us next week. We're going to have some great talent on the show. Don't forget to look in. In the meantime, keep all them cards and letters coming in, folks. And this week, I sure want to thank that little old lady who sent me the rabbit ears. I put them on my television set with the other rabbit ears, and now I got 18 sets. Everybody loves somebody.